Hi guys. Hi, how are you? How are you today? Welcome to my channel, all the new subscribers and all the old subscribers. Thank you for coming to my channel. My name is Tessie and this is Chats with Tea. And on here we talk about viral topics, women's topics, relationships. Sometimes I talk about my lifestyle as well. So yeah, now that we've done the whole intro, yes, I am wearing some summery clothes. It's a really nice day today where I am. So I said, let me go out and wear something more summery. And this, I actually got it when I was like back in 2019. When I had my Instagram, I was invited on an influencer trip. Well, not influencer trip, but it was like an influencer event. It was an opening of a store in Lagos. And I was already in Nigeria. And yeah, Payporte, which is like a very trendy brand, like a H&M brand, they invited me to their opening. And when I was there, they had like a pop-up shop and I bought this. So I'll just show you what it looks like. It's really, really nice. I got this. And yeah, essentially it has like a top, but I can't find the top. I don't know where the top is. So I'm just wearing the bottom now, but I love it. It's wonderful. And yeah, they even reposted me wearing this with the top and the bottom on their Facebook page. They reposted my picture on their Facebook page with like 1 million something followers. It was mad. If I find the post, I might link it to this video. Hey. Okay, let me be serious. Today, guys, what do I want to talk about today? Today, I want to talk about my experience interracial dating, my experience dating a Polish and preparing to marry a Polish man, and in my experience with the culture, the Polish culture, and just like what I think in general. Um, yeah, like just Polish culture and just the racism aspect as well. That's another thing I'm gonna have to talk about because sorry, but we cannot escape that. So let me get my chair. And we can sit down and have a conversation like grown adults. Yeah, like grown adults. Okay. So first of all, I am really enjoying being with my partner. He is a wonderful man. And I think he's a wonderful man because he's wonderful, not because of where he's from. He's just a wonderful person in general, right? But one thing I've definitely noticed about the culture is that when we went to Poland last year, it was interesting because I got stared at a lot. Now I know we had already had practice. We had already known that I was gonna get stared at a lot. He did say you would get stared at a lot because in Poland they're not used to seeing black women, a lot of the time, and it's a very homogeneous country. Like, okay, I get that, fine. But it was definitely uncomfortable for me. I got used to it after like the first day. I was like, okay, whatever. I don't care. Just continue staring. Sometimes it would amuse me a little bit. But then other times I was thinking like, oh my gosh, what would it be like to actually live there? Like, how would I get my black girl hair products and other things like that? Oh guys, I'm wearing this really cute ring, this Jesus ring. Greg bought it for me when we went to Scarborough. He got me this really cute Jesus ring when we went to Scarborough, and I lost it in my niece's car seat, and I found it the other day. I'm very happy. But yeah, let me just continue what I was saying. It was an interesting experience. Now, this isn't just unique to because we went to Krakow the first time we went. We went to a very popular city the first time. We traveled to Poland together, which was last year, and we did that for like my birthday. Now I'm not sure if you call it Krakow or Krakow because he says it in the Polish accent, and Polish is a very hard language to learn. It's very, very hard. I'm definitely considering like joining a school or something to just learn. But it was interesting. One thing I would say is that it was very interesting noticing that even when we went into Polish stores in the UK, we would get stared at. Me especially, I would get stared at by the Polish women in the Polish store. Not necessarily the Polish men, but the Polish women in the Polish store would stare at me so hard, like they were so mad. I'm like, why are you mad, sis? Why are you mad? Seriously, they were so mad. They would stare at me. Definitely not all of them were mad. I think some of them were probably curious. But the staring was like rude. Let me put it that way. Like there were, I remember even when because we go into Polish stores all the time, right? Me and Greg, we cook a lot. He cooks a lot of Polish dishes for me to try. Sometimes he makes goulash, and sometimes he makes pierogi or something else. And he cooks a lot of things to try. So sometimes we get fresh chicken from the Polish butcher store, and they have really nice foods and fresh foods. Sometimes he tries my Nigerian dishes too, so we mix it up. But a lot of the times when I'm at his house, we'll go shopping at the Polish store because there's quite a few Polish stores near his house. Where he lives, there's a lot of Polish people. So, oh my gosh, the kind of stares I would get. There was one lady I remember, she was looking so much, so intently. I felt like I just said, okay, I'm gonna mess around with you today. I'm gonna mess with you today. She was looking so much. I was thinking, you need to take a picture to satisfy your curiosity. Take a picture of us so that every time you get curious and think about us, you can look at the picture instead. So I said to myself, I'm going to mess with her today. I could feel her looking at me. It was uncomfortable because, when you're not dreaming, when someone has actually stopped everything they're doing to just look at you. Yes, I could feel it. It was there. It was obvious. And then when I looked up, she was there looking at me straight in the face. I was like, Lord have mercy. So I said, okay, I'm gonna mess around with you today. I'm gonna play with you today, and I just started, me and G, we started joking around and cuddling, and she looked so uncomfortable. And definitely there is a racial aspect. I think there is definitely a racial aspect. Sometimes a lot of them will be like, oh my God, how are you dating someone that isn't Polish, or how are you dating someone that's, not of the same, that doesn't come from the same place you are. And especially because I don't think Black women are all that popular. Well, not popular. I don't think they're all that common in Poland, like in terms of living there full time. I don't think that's something, because even the city that me and G are going to see is very close to his hometown. His hometown is a very small place. Like it's small. It's small. I'm really trying my best to pronounce things properly. So if I butcher stuff, I'm so sorry. Forgive moi. forgive. But I think it's called Shemish. So yeah, we're going there and we're landing in the closest airport to that. And both of those are quite small cities. It's like the border town between Poland and Ukraine. And oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. I know it's definitely going to be an interesting experience when we go there, because even in the UK, sometimes we get stared at, even when we go to like different cities. Like when we went to Scarborough, we were getting so many stares from people. Mainly, it was mainly Caucasian people. And I think obviously because it was mostly Caucasian people that were there wasn't really many Black people when we went to Scarborough. But we were getting lots of stares because obviously to them, I guess they hadn't seen it that much. We were just laughing. Look, let me tell you something. Me and G, we don't care. We find it funny. People's reactions amuse us. We like making people uncomfortable. There's nothing I love more than making people uncomfortable, especially when it comes to the dynamic. It's very interesting. It's very amusing to us. And yeah, sometimes we notice, oh my God, did you see the way they looked at us? Oh my God, they were so horrifying. And we start laughing and we just find it funny. But sometimes, it's interesting to note that even in the UK, when we go some places like London, ain't nobody give a damn about what we do, because London is very multicultural. London, everybody, in every kind of human being you can find on the planet is in London. If you want to look for any type of human being, any type of nationality in the planet, you'll see them in London. Specifically, you'll see them in South London. Central London is like for the playboys of London, So yeah, essentially, we've noticed that even sometimes in certain cities that are quite obscure, so cities that aren't that diverse, then we'll get some interesting looks. We'll get some looks. People will be like, oh, that's interesting. People will actually turn their head back to look at us, because sometimes you can think, oh, maybe I'm just being paranoid, but actually you're not. People will actually turn their head back like, oh my God. And I'm just here loving it. Like, okay, have I caught your attention today? So yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's definitely interesting. The racial reactions. We haven't had any like actual racial incidents. And G is extremely protective of me. He does not joke with me at all. Oh my gosh. He does not joke with me at all. Like, he is extremely protective. He is very, very protective. He will do. G will. I don't even know how to explain it. He has come to me and he said, "Girl, what have you done to me? You have me in a hold. I am hooked on you." Like, he's very, very protective of me. He does not play around with me at all. At all. So I'm never really worried about my safety per se. I'm never worried about my safety. Even when we go to Poland, I'm not going to be worried about my safety. So that's just like the general reactions of like people in general. Sometimes it's uncomfortable because, I'm thinking, you guys are really, you've never really seen a black girl and a white guy or some sort of other race before. Like, it's really so shocking for them. It's so amazing. Like, you guys, you really need to go out. You just go out more. Go outside of your house. Open the door. Open the door. You'll see so many things if you open the door from your front house. So yeah, it's definitely interesting. But I do like, are some of these reactions rooted in racism? Yes, very possible. Some of these reactions are definitely rooted in racism. Some of them aren't. I guess we'll never know. And I don't really care to find out either. I'm not really interested in what racists think or their racist lifestyle. I couldn't give a toss. But definitely, I don't think every single Polish person, that would be ridiculous. Come on. I definitely think, because bearing in mind, we don't get reactions from just Polish people. We get reactions from everybody. Okay, recently we went out to do engagement ring shopping. And oh my God, when we were in the store, where did we go? We went to Ernest Jones. So we went to a couple of places. And I've vlogged a couple of the places we went to have a look at rings, because I need to get a nice ring for myself. I need to get a ring. Lordess of the rings. Lordess of the ring. So we went to Ernest Jones. Then we went to Beaverbrooks. We actually visited Cartier very briefly, but I didn't see anything I liked enough to vlog it. I thought I was going to vlog it, but there was honestly nothing I liked there. Like, there was one or two things, but then it was outside of our budget. So I was like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. I don't like it that much to push it out. And then we went to, the first place we went to was Pandora, which I vlogged. So yeah, the most recent place we went to, was Ernest Jones. We were going to go to H.L. Samuels, but I can't even remember what happened. We had other things planned that day, So yeah, we went to Ernest Jones, and oh my God, you see the reactions we got from people. People were shocked. Like, I was thinking, hold on, this is 2023, right? This is 2023. You know that people are dating people of other races out here. It's not a big deal. So, and you lot are acting as if this is Loving versus Virginia 1967. I was laughing in my head. I was like, look at these people. Look at them. Let me just play with them a little bit. Let me just play with them. Sometimes I just like to play with them. I like to mess around with their head a bit. But yeah, we got so many stares. We got stares from everybody. And it was interesting because before then, most of the time we've usually just gotten stares from black guys, and most of the time whenever we pass, that's the most of the demographic we get stares. And I think it's just like natural. People just turn their head to stare at something, especially when they don't see it on a regular basis. Although honestly, I'm beginning to see it more regularly. I saw it yesterday. When I went to the store yesterday, I saw a black girl and a white guy, and they were obviously in a relationship. It was very obvious the way they were acting. So it's not something that is like, I don't think it's freaking difficult, to wrap your head around. Maybe 10 years ago, it might have been difficult because I remember I dated. G is not the first like man I've dated outside of my race. I had a Algerian boyfriend. I wouldn't really call him a boyfriend. I would call him a dalliance. That's the word. I had an Algerian dalliance when I was in college. And oh God, at the time I was 18, and I only saw this guy for a month, and he was white. He was because Algerians, they're not necessarily black. They can be of a different race as well. They can be of a different color, but they're still Africans, So like he was an interesting person to deal with. And actually, we got a ton of stares when we walked on the street together. That was interesting. But that was like 10 years ago. So I kind of understood because it wasn't seen as much as it is now. So I kind of understood that. But yeah, honestly, sometimes I'm like, people are a little bit iffy, and I'm thinking, is this rooted in racism or is it just people being interested? Now, when we go to Poland, it's always, I know it's always, it could be 50-50. So there definitely I'm sure there definitely is racist people because racist people exist. It's just a fact of life. But I'm sure a lot of it is also the fact that people are unused, they're not used to seeing a pairing like that. A parent like us, but they need to get used to it though because it's not going anywhere. And then another thing I would say as well, so if we're talking about our family, our family loves us. We are like a model. Our family loves us so much. Our family loves us. So I've met his mom loves me. His brother I've known for over a year now, and we get on very well. He knows my parents. He's met my parents several times. Several times he's met my parents. At first he was a bit nervous about meeting my mum. But then, like, now he's, like, super relaxed. He loves my dad so much. And just, he's met the rest of my family, even my niece and everything. So we are, like, we fully integrated and meshed with each other's families. Everyone's okay. Everyone's happy. Everyone approves. It's great. So on that side, honestly, everything's fantastic in terms of mingling culture. He's learning a lot as well about, he's learning a lot about Nigerian culture, but I'm learning a lot about his culture, just the words, the languages, the fact that everyone seems to say couvre a lot. It's either couvre or couvre mash. And yeah, just the different foods that they eat on a daily basis. They tend to like a lot of sour foods. Like the foods tend to be quite sour in nature. I've been to quite a few Polish restaurants with him, which has been nice as well to see the different types of food. So I'm definitely like learning a lot. And the experience honestly has been a really good one. Like I've learned a lot, so much. I don't think I would have learned this much if I was marrying someone that was maybe in the same culture or something as me. I don't know. I'm learning some interesting things. So yeah, honestly, a part of me is like, some people's reactions, I can tell they're quite hostile. And I would say those hostile reactions are definitely rooted in racism because there are people who do not like the fact that people date out of their race. These people exist. Let's not try and pretend that they don't. Okay, this is an unpleasant, authentic fact of life that there are some people who are like that. They exist. They don't like it. And when they see it in their face, it brings up all kinds of emotions. Their whole mind and spirit is in turmoil. Oh Lord Jesus, they're in turmoil. And there are also people who as well, they kind of have, especially some of the Polish, they also sometimes maybe might think, oh, can you not find a nice Polish girl or something like that? But I think for the most part, most people are, you know, pretty relaxed, like they just mind their business and keep it moving. And, you know, like I said, we're really fortunate because we love each other like mad. Like, oh my God, G loves me so much. It's kind of mad how much he loves me. Like, it's crazy how much he loves me. But at the same time, would I say it's surprising? No, because I've been loved. In my previous relationships, I was loved a lot as well. I was loved like really deeply. So, you know, and he's very protective. So he always makes me feel really safe. He always makes me, so when you're dating interracially, it's very, 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 very important that your partner makes you feel safe and secure, and he makes you feel like he'll protect you. Like, he always makes me feel like he'll protect me no matter what. Like, he's got my back. Like, he will do anything. I mean, this is someone who has literally carried me when I've been ill, and literally, like, so bearing in mind his track record shows, his actions have showed that. So I have every reason to believe everything he says. You know, so when you're dating someone of, you know, of a different race, or you're dating outside a race, it's very important that the person makes you feel safe, makes you feel especially safe in their environment. You cannot date someone, go to their country, and the person doesn't make you feel safe. Then that's not good. It's not a good dynamic. Like, he always makes me feel, you know, like I feel comfortable with him because he's comfortable. Let me put it that way. You know, I feel comfortable with him because he's comfortable, and he makes me feel comfortable in the whole dynamic. So it's good. So when you're dating interracially, this is not an advice video. This is my experience, but I'm out here just trying to. I'm literally ending up giving pointers. If you're dating interracially, right? Their person has to make, especially as a Black woman, the person has to make you feel comfortable. If the person doesn't make you feel comfortable or safe in whatever country you're in, you're going to have a very bad time. I'm just telling you the truth now. You're going to have a very bad time. If the person that you're with doesn't make you feel safe or comfortable, it's not going to be good. It's not. You have to feel comfortable. You have to feel safe. The person has to put your safety and comfort first. The person has to they have to put your safety and comfort like first, 100%. So yeah, honestly, so far it's a good experience, Sha. We can't wait to, you know, get married and stuff. Like, so far it's a good experience. I am very, very, very appreciative. I attribute that it being a good experience to him. This doesn't mean that obviously, you know, things, we don't get certain looks and stares. We do. And I'm sure when we go to Poland, because we're going to Poland again very soon, and I'm gonna vlog it. I'm still waiting for my SD card to come because I didn't realize I ordered it from China, and it's literally taken donkey years to arrive. But when the card does come, since I've got my new camera, I'm gonna be vlogging it, and it's gonna be nice. And I'm really trying to learn some nice editing stuff, and I'm just playing around with my, you know, my software and learning new softwares and stuff. So hopefully it's going to be a really nice vlog. Like, we're going to do so many things. We're going to go on cable cars and everything. It's going to be fancy. It's going to be fancy. So, yeah, hopefully that will happen. But honestly, so far it's been a very good experience. He always puts me first, which makes, you know, the experience a nice one. If you're dating interracially and the person doesn't make you a priority or make your feelings a priority, especially when it comes to like racial dynamics, you're not gonna have a nice experience. The person has to acknowledge that these things happen, and then they have to do their best efforts to protect you from any kind of outside interference. Like, I can't even imagine someone even trying that, because you would just use of shit. He really, this man he just adores me. It's mad. Like, even my mom, when he came to see my mom and when my parents came over recently, my mom was like, he loves you, girl. My mom was like, he loves you. Seriously, he loves you. And I was like, really? She's like, yeah, I can see it. It's mad. So the guy has to really love you and, you know, really, really value you, especially when you're dating interracially as a Black woman. Hey, God. Especially in different European countries. Central Europe is a bit easier. Poland is in Central Europe, though. It's not actually in Eastern Europe. It's a misconception. But if you're actually looking at Eastern Europe, like, you know, Lithuania, all of this, if you're, see, hey. Because I've heard stories of Black women going over there and not being treated well. So yeah, that's my experience today. That's what I wanted to talk about. So yeah, I ain't got nothing to say. But all in all, I love Poland. It's a really lovely, beautiful place. I like the people. People are nice, friendly so far as to what I've seen. The culture is a nice one, an interesting one, lots to learn. And it's also got my favorite Pope, Pope John Paul II, who is like a babe. He was a babe, but he was literally my favorite Pope, and he was my mom's favorite Pope. So yeah, honestly, so far so good. Long may it continue. So yeah, that's all I had to say, guys. I just wanted to tell you about my experience on and the racism side, and because there's that side. I don't want people to think everything's all hunky dory. Everything's hunky dory with me and G, but the outside world is a miserable fucking place, and everyone's miserable. So sometimes that can, you know, if you're not careful and if you don't do your best to protect yourselves, it might even spill into you. So yeah, that's all I have to say on this topic. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'm starting to get more of a Polish audience. Welcome, guys. Welcome. I've forgotten the Polish words for welcome. I will get better at that. But yeah, welcome. I'm starting to get more Polish people in the audience, which is nice. It's nice to see you. And I like it when you guys speak your language, because I can learn more. When I'm seeing Polish comments, I can learn more. So yeah, nice to see you guys as well. So that's all I have to say. I've got nothing else to say. I need to bounce because I need to go outside. It's a nice weather, and I've done less than 1,000 steps today, which is horrible. I'm supposed to be doing like 12,000, so I'm just pretty much going to be walking around for the rest of the day. But thank you very much for watching, and yeah, don't forget to. I keep forgetting to say this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, bye now. Bye.